Hey guys, YouTuber Minute here. Alright, and in this video, this is going to be something that I have kind of wanted to talk about for a little while. I said I was going to do this at the end of my last video. Yeah, for this video, I want to talk about something regarding Tekken. Now, yeah, if you've seen some of my past videos where I've talked about Tekken before, I have said how Tekken really is like my favorite video game series of all time. Yeah, I just really have always really loved the Tekken games ever since I was a little kid. I played the games so much, and yeah, and they really have always been my favorite game series of all time. Yeah, yeah, so I figured for this video, something that I would do is I would kind of just ask something among Tekken fans out there. Yeah, for all you Tekken fans out there, I just wanted to ask which game in the Tekken series is your favorite? What is your favorite Tekken game of the series? Because yeah, the Tekken games really have been really great. I really have the Tekken games a lot. Then there are of course ones that I do like more than others. Yeah, but yeah, and I'm sure, and of course we're all gonna have our favorite Tekken game. Some people are gonna Tekken 3 the most. Some people are gonna like Tekken 5 the most. Some people are gonna Tekken the first Tekken the most. Yeah, people are always gonna really have their own favorite Tekken game out there. Yeah, and of course we have Tekken 8 that's gonna be coming up. That is going to be released. Yeah, Tekken 8 is set for release this upcoming January. So yeah, so we now have the eighth game in the series, the official series at least, uh, being released. Yeah. So everybody really is going to have their favorite Tekken game. Yeah. But yeah, my personal favorite Tekken game, to be honest, the one that I really do like the most, my favorite one is Tekken 4. Yeah, Tekken 4 I would probably say is my favorite one of the series. And yeah, and I really do all the games, especially the first 5 Tekken games, Tekken's 1 through 5. Yeah, I really do all the first 5 games really a lot. The 6th and the 7th one I still do overall like those, but yeah, I still do the first 5 really just a lot. Those are really the ones I really did grow up playing. The 6th and the 7th ones they came out of course when I was much older. So yeah, so I'm not those aren't really as nostalgic for me as the first 5. The first 5 are really the ones that I really did grow up playing. So yeah, so I really do have more of a nostalgic attachment to the first 5 games. Yeah, but I would personally say that my favorite one would probably be Tekken 4. So yeah, so Tekken 4 was the first Tekken game of the official series that was released in the PlayStation 2. Yeah, technically Tekken Tag was actually released before this, and that was released in the PlayStation 2. But yeah, the Tekken Tag games really are not the one are not actually canon to the official series. Yeah, but yeah, this was the first one of the official series that was actually released on the PlayStation 2. Of course, the first 3 Tekken games were released for the PlayStation 1. Yeah, but yeah, this was when the PS2 was released, and then this was when the Tekken series really did make the jump to the next generation console for the PlayStation 2. The game was originally released for the arcade in 2001, but yeah, then it was ported onto the PlayStation 2 the following year in 2002. Yeah. And I just really did love this one. Yeah, there were just a lot of things I really did like about this game. Yeah, of course with it making the jump to PlayStation 2, there was of course like a an upgrade, of course, in the graphics. Yeah, and the graphics really did look really great. You can really just see the character models in this really did look so much better in this one than they did for the PlayStation 1. In Tekken 3, the character models really did look pretty good, but yeah, here they were given a pretty good upgrade, and yeah, and the character models really did look very good in this game. And yeah, Yeah, plus and just like a lot of the features that this game really did have, that was like really cool as well. Like this game really did have features like it really did like pick up with like the some of the features that like second and third Tekken games had, where like you have like the team battle and the Tekken Force mode and the survival mode and stuff like that in this game. Yeah, and of course it did like also have like a theater mode that was introduced in Tekken 3, where you could really like watch like the ending videos for like all the characters when you like played through the game. Yeah. Yeah. And it really did have like nice features like that. Yeah. Yeah. And also like one of the things that this game really did introduce was like the story mode, where like rather than just like playing through arcade mode where you would just choose a character and then just fight like a whole bunch of like other characters and just just fight through them all. You have like 9 or 10 characters to fight, and then that would be the end of it. Yeah. This time, like rather than just like doing that, like they actually did like give this game a story mode, and this was really where the story mode was really introduced in the games. Yeah, and there would actually be like a storyline for like each character in this game. Yeah, and some of the stories that this game really did have were actually like pretty good stories. And yeah, and I really did like the stories that were in this game. Like of course, like the main story for this game was of course like the story between like a Kazuya, Heihachi, and Jin in the game. Yeah, because the story for like this game was like how after the events of the previous game, where like Heihachi like was trying to capture Ogre and it failed, like he was actually able to collect some of Ogre's blood and tissue, and he was trying to like create like a new sort of a life form with like his and Ogre's genetic material, but he was unable to do so because in order to do that, like Heihachi actually needed the devil gene. Yeah. So so Heihachi like was like on the tried to search for Jin to collect the devil gene, because of course in the previous game, like after Jin defeated Heihachi and Ogre, like Jin actually did like a transform into a devil, but yeah, since then like Jin had been missing. Yeah, but yeah, and as Heihachi was trying to search for Jin to collect the devil gene, Heihachi eventually learned that Kazuya was alive, because of course like in Tekken 2, after Heihachi defeated Kazuya, he threw Kazuya into a volcano to destroy him, and of course like Kazuya was presumed dead. And after that, but yeah, Heihachi learned how that Kazuya had been revived by biotech firm called the G Corporation. Yeah. And when Heihachi learned that, he sent the Tekken Force to G Corporation to um, retrieve Kazuya, but yeah, but they failed when Kazuya like ended up retaliating and took out the Tekken Force. Yeah. So then after that mission failed, then like when Heihachi then like we learned that Kazuya was alive and he needed either Kazuya or Jin's body to complete his experiment. Like Heihachi, then announced this this next King of Iron Fist tournament, and because he knew that Kazuya and Jin would be there, and they couldn't turn it down. So yeah, but of course, both Kazuya and Jin knew that this whole tournament was just a trap to lure them in by Heihachi. Yeah, but yeah, they both still did enter the tournament. Yeah, yeah, when it came time for Kazuya and Jin to actually fight in the tournament, Jin ended up being ambushed by the Tekken Force and ended up being captured. Yeah, and then when Kazuya learned that Jin was missing, his thing, and Kazuya won that fight by default. Like he knew that Heihachi was behind it. Yeah. Then when Kazuya and Heihachi finally did fight, Heihachi ended up ultimately winning the fight. But yeah, then Heihachi then took Kazuya to the Mishiwa Zaibatsu compound where Jin was being held. Yeah. Then as it showed just Jin being bounded unconscious by chains. Then when Kazuya then saw that Heihachi had Jin, then Kazuya then just blasted Heihachi back, taking him out. Then, as he attempted to retrieve the devil gene from Jin himself, Jin eventually ended up waking up, and then it led to a fight between Kazuya and Jin ended up defeating Kazuya. Then and Kazuya then being defeated. Then and Jin then fought Heihachi and defeated him too. Yeah, but before Jin could actually destroy Heihachi, then Jin got a vision from his mother June, who of course um, uh, June of course was killed by Ogre between the events of Tekken 3 and 4. Yeah, I mean 2 and 3 rather. Yeah. Then when Jin saw the vision of his mother, then he just spared Heihachi, and then Jin his devil wings uh, came out of his back, and then Jin then just ended up leaving. Yeah, no, yeah, and that really is the main story of this game, which of course this story would continue in Tekken 5. Yeah. Yeah, so that was really the main story of the game. Of course, Kazuya, Jin, and Heihachi really are the main characters of the series. So yeah, so every game's main story is does involve them. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's the main story. Yeah, and there are also some other stories in this game that I really do like as well. There's also the story in this game between King and Craig Marduk. Yeah, because this game has, talked about how Craig Marduk is a volley tudo fighter, and then a couple of years before this game set, um, Marduk ended up murdering Armor King in a brawl in a bar fight. Yeah, and then when King learned about Armor King's murder, he swore revenge. Yeah, then it was talked about how Craig Marduk due to Armor King's murder, he was convicted of manslaughter and sentenced to 10 years in prison. But yeah, then it's talked about how 2 years after his sentence, well, 2 years into his sentence, when this game is set, King had paid to have Marduk released from prison, and then sent him information about the tournament and flew him in for the tournament. Yeah, then like uh, King and Marduk eventually ended up fighting in the tournament, and King ended up winning. And then afterwards, as Marduk was then taken to the hospital for treatment. As King then visited Marduk to finish the job, uh, as King was zeroing in to actually finish the job and kill Marduk. Then King then just backed off after seeing a picture of Marduk and his family. King then just realized how revenge really was not the way to go, so King ended up sparing Marduk's life. Yeah, but and then this story would continue on in the next game as well. Yeah, but yeah, that is a story that I do like in this game as well. As I've said times before, if you've seen some of my past videos about Tekken, King is my favorite character in the series. So yeah, so of course I like this story with him. So that is another one. That's another one of the big stories in this game. Yeah. Also in this game, another story is the stuff with Paul Phoenix and Kuma. Yeah, because of course Paul and Kuma are have feuded throughout basically the entire series. So yeah, so oh yeah, so stuff between them is always a highlight in the Tekken games as well. Like yeah, the story with Paul is kind of interesting in this game. After like this game talks about how in the Tekken 3 how Paul went undefeated, but and he eventually went home after he overpowered Ogre. But then yeah, it talks about how when Ogre morphed into True Ogre, the tournament continued unbeknownst to Paul. Yeah, and like Paul was just like so full of himself, like just saying how like he was like the true champion of the previous tournament, and just people really are not believing him about it, and the ones that do are just like tired of the way he was acting about it. Yeah, and it's talked about how like Paul's dojo eventually ended up like going out of business because of lack of students, and it shows how like Paul really is just like kind of like a wreck. Like he's kind of just like on the streets, and yeah, he just like has really like become kind of a wreck with his hair and stuff. Like he just has like a totally different hairdo, and it just looks really bad. Yeah, yeah. And Kuma, like as he was after Kuma was defeated by Paul in Tekken 3, like as he was training, eventually like he really just like was was burning with instinct to defeat Paul. Yeah. Then when both of Paul and Kuma learned about the tournament, they both, of course, like were like entered it. Like Paul wanted to try to really prove he was like a true champion this time, while Kuma really was just like very determined to defeat Paul. And when they finally did a fight in this tournament, Kuma like ended up winning over Paul. So yeah, so Kuma finally like got the big win over Paul. Yeah. Yeah, all right. Yeah, so yeah, that's of course like one of the stories of this game also. Yeah, and plus yeah, the outfit that they give Kuma in this game is pretty funny. Like usually like in the games like Kuma like really doesn't have really like much of a costume. Like some like he's usually just like wearing stuff like a handkerchief over his neck and stuff. Yeah, but in this game like the costume the outfit that they give him is pretty funny. Like they give Kuma like a red T-shirt and sneakers to wear. So I just find that kind of funny that they give that kind of outfit to Kuma in this game. Yeah, yeah, well, yeah, and of course, like another one of the big stories in this game is like the stuff with like Nina and Steve Fox, and even Lei Wulong like serves a part in this story as well. Yeah, like like Steve. Like this game was in the introduction to Steve Fox in the Tekken series, yeah, like they talked about him this game how like Steve was like a British boxer, and he was adopted like during his infancy, but he was really like wanting to know the identity of his biological parents. Yeah, and then yeah, and yeah, and it talked about how like Steve like ended up like defying the orders from a mafia group during one of his fights, and then the mafia then like was like after Steve, and as Steve like was leading a life on the run after he fled England for the United States, and it's like he eventually ended up like entering the tournament as well. Yeah, and then like a Nina, like of course like in this game it's explained how after Nina like was like used as a test subject for cryo sleep research for the Michima Zaibatsu after Tekken 2. Like when she was released to fight in the third game, like she was like suffering from cryosleep induced amnesia, and she was still suffering through it in this game, and really didn't have any of her memories of a previous life or Anna. Yeah. So Nina really was just like a contracted assassin. Yeah. Then like Nina got a message from the mafia group to target Steve. Yeah. And then then it was eventually then like as Nina like did some research and Steve did research as well. Like it was eventually then revealed that Nina was actually Steve's biological mother when like it was explained how like Steve was conceived while Nina was actually in cryosleep, yeah, and then yeah, but then like the way that Lei Wulong does tie into this is as after like Lei ended up being suspended from the police after like a botched operation, like when he learned about um uh, Nina like trying to target Steve. Like he entered the tournament and was tr- was determined to stop Nina to redeem himself. Yeah, Yeah, and then when Nina then like looked like when she was about to actually complete her assignment from the mafia and destroy Steve, then Lay interceded and held Nina at gunpoint, but then Nina like fired off at Lay, and then as Nina like made a break for it, like she then eventually ended up approaching Steve, and then as Lay then like tried to hold Nina at gunpoint again, Steve ended up pinning Lay down, allowing Nina to escape. Yeah, so yeah, and some of this would also like carry over to the next game as well. Yeah, but yeah, that is like another one of the big stories for this game as well. Yeah, and there are some other stories that are in the game as well. But yeah, a lot of them don't really go anywhere. Yeah, but yeah, there are like a couple other interesting stories in the game. Uh, there's also like the stuff with like Christie in the game. Of course, Eddie Gordo from the from Tekken 3, it was talked about how Eddie's capoeira master, or had uh, his granddaughter Christy, and Eddie made a promise to pass over a capoeira to Christy. So yeah, and then in between the third and fourth games, Eddie did train Christy in capoeira, and after 2 years of training, Christy was like a very skilled in capoeira and just a very impressive fighter. Yeah, and then Eddie eventually ended up disappearing, and so Chrissy ended up entering the tournament and to find Eddie. Yeah, then as Chrissy fought in the tournament, she then did eventually reunite with Eddie. Yeah. Yeah, and then I guess like one more story that I will talk about in the game is the story with Brian Fury. Yeah, Brian Fury's story is also another interesting story in this game. In this game, of course, Brian Fury was of course a cyborg that was created by Doctor Abel. Yeah, and in this game, it just talked about how like Brian saw that his life was starting to come to an end, and Doctor Abel was really the only one who could change this. But yeah, Doctor Abel was recruited by the Mishima Zaibatsu as their lead researcher. Yeah, and it just it's I talked about how Brian Fury does despise both the Mishima Zaibatsu for taking Dr. Abel away from him and Dr. Abel himself for abandoning him. Yeah. But then when Brian heard about the tournament, he then entered it in the intentions to like uh, command Dr. Abel to modify his body. Yeah. But then Brian didn't end up winning the tournament. But yeah, he then did eventually approach Dr. Abel, and Dr. Abel was shocked to see Brian alive. But then Brian, just with every last ounce of strength that he had left, he just blasted Dr. Abel across the room, and then just ended up collapsing unconscious to the ground. Yeah, and it's not revealed if Dr. Abel does survive this or not. Yeah, but then later on Brian ended up waking up, seeing Dr. Boskanovich, who of course was the scientist that was in the previous game. He was here, and then Yoshimitsu ended up saving Brian, and then Boskanovich then was just telling Brian how he could actually um, extend Brian's lifespan, and just do what he do what he Brian did want Dr. Abel to do. So then Dr. Boskanovich was just telling Brian how he could actually modify expand Brian's lifespan and really just make him basically reborn, more powerful. Yeah. So then Boskanovich just told Brian that it would take a year to do it, but Brian could be reborn into a new body. Yeah, and yeah, the next game revealed that that's not actually what he was able to do. Like the next game just showed how like Brian's body was too complex to really do what Boskanovich was intending to do, and then he like just installed a new generator into Brian's body instead. Yeah, but yeah, that was like another story that was in this game that is probably like one of the stories that this game is known for. Yeah. Oh yeah, so yeah, and there, like I said, there are like some other stories, but like a lot of them don't really go anywhere. Like, there's not really much to really come out of uh, a law in this game. Like, there's not really anything interesting with him. Yoshimitsu's story really is not really very interesting. Not really anything significant happened with him in this game. Like, there was like stuff with Harang. Like, there's the stuff with like the rivalry with Harang and Jin. I hope like they had a fight in this game, but Harang ended up being captured by military and stuff like that. Yeah, and some other stories in this game as well. Yeah, but yeah, just with the stories that I mentioned, I really do think that like just like Tekken 4 really does have like I think the most interesting stories, like the ones that I've just talked about. And yeah, and I really do and due to like just how interesting the stories are, yeah, I really do think that like due to that, like Tekken 4 really is just my favorite Tekken game. Like yeah, it tells like some really good stories. The character models are just really great. Like right? And yeah, and it really is just like an all around very enjoyable game. So yeah, so I would definitely say that Tekken 4 really is my favorite game in the Tekken series. But yeah, like I said, like I really do like all the Tekken games, and especially the first five. Like as I said, the first five really are just like really nostalgic for me. They really are the games that I really did grow up playing for the series. So yeah, I really do like those like a lot. But yeah, the six and seven games, while they're not, I don't really have like the nostalgic attachment to them. I just still do like those two. But yeah, like I said, of all the games, I do think Tekken 4 is my favorite one. All right, so yeah, like asked, like, what is your favorite Tekken game? Like, do you feel the same way I do, or is there like a game that you like better? Do you like Tekken 1 the best? Do you like Tekken 2, 3, 5? Like, yeah, just which Tekken game is your favorite? Comment on my channel and tell me your favorite Tekken game. But yeah, but for me, I would definitely say 4 is my favorite. All right. So yeah, so I guess this is all I really have to say. So yeah, so just tell me what your favorite Tekken game is. All right. So yeah, so I guess this is all I really have to say about it. So I hope you guys enjoy what I had to say about this. Yeah, and stay tuned as yeah, hopefully I'll have some more coming throughout the out September. All right, but yeah, but I hope you guys enjoy what I had to say. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.